How's it going, everybody? It is Saiyan Prince back again. I wanted to showcase my newest project that I've just completed. This is my Pokemon Bartop Red versus Blue Arcade. So, just finished this just recently. I'm actually still working a little bit on things. My amp that I got in doesn't work very good, and so I've got a temporary speaker in there, but as far as the cabinet build goes, it is complete. I may end up doing a stand for it. Check out the button layout here with the custom ball tops. These are cool. I may end up doing a stand for it, but I'll just have to see if that's something I'm going to be trying to do. Just wanted to showcase this in case anybody was interested in doing something like this in the future. I've got a single switch that runs the power to everything, and then this will be a safe shut-off switch for my Raspberry Pi 4 that's in the unit. So I've got 4-inch speakers up there. Like I said, that amp there, it's a $14 amp, really cheap. So it's busted. So I've got a temporary speaker for the moment, Raspberry Pi 4, and then this is on like a hinge system that I just got from Walmart, some hinges and then some magnetic stoppers. And so when you go to, it just clips right in. Super easy to get into in case I need to make modifications. I'm gonna go ahead and click it on, show you guys the system. I did a custom theme as well, so it's one of a kind. The theme and the cab are one of a kind. I got most of the box from Game Room Solutions. They were all right with me, but I have heard that people have had issues in the past with them as far as communication goes. So check it out. Chase's RetroPie Arcade. That's me. But yeah, as far as Game Room Solutions goes, I've heard that people have had issues with them in the past. So if you decide to do the same thing, just keep that in mind. I've actually gone and copied every single board here on my router. So in the future, I can do more projects like this and not have to rely on, some custom kit. And there the music starts up. Like I said, it's a custom theme. So then I got the buttons on the front. These are like my mode and option buttons. So then I've got my unique layout. This board was not cut by Game Room Solutions, and neither was this board. And it's because I needed a unique layout for my Pokemon Arcade. They didn't have the layout like this. This is kind of what I envisioned it as. So I cut these boards myself and got the artwork printed locally for this control panel, because the one I received didn't actually fit it very good. So yeah, I've got my L, my R, A, B, X, Y, and then same thing for player 2. I have been asked already why I have two players on here, and it's because it runs not only Game Boy, but Game Boy Advance Hacks, Color, Nintendo 64. And if you've ever played Pokemon Stadium, it's a 2-player game. So I can play, against my wife or whoever. We can battle in Pokemon Stadium. And that is not the only reason. I also have it to where I can play DS games. The main controls are going to be on this side, and then the touch controls and menu controls are on this side. So I'll showcase that in a little bit. So that's why I have 2 players, for multiple reasons, but that's the 2 big ones. And then I've got RetroPie Options, which has pre-written scripts from Wolf and Oz and the Supreme Pro team. They're awesome. If you guys don't know about them, look them up. They are fantastic. They do a lot of builds. This theme I actually did by myself. I just took their base scripts and basically gutted it out and put my own things. It's the same as I did with my Mortal Kombat Arcade, if you guys have seen that video. But yeah, so I got my options. I've got Game Boy, which, red, blue, and yellow. I'm still adding ROMs. So I'm still adding stuff. It's not complete by any means, but I do have the screenshots. I plan on having video. I've got the descriptions. And then I also put the rating system as Pokeballs. So like for yellow, it's obviously 5 stars or 5 Pokeballs. And then for blue, you know, we put it at 4 stars, and same thing for red. So that's kind of how I did that. Game Boy Advance. So when you run these, it runs perfectly. As you can imagine, it's a Pi 4. If any of you guys have ever seen a Pi 4 or have any experience with it, you know it runs Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, no problem, all of that. Got a couple of hacks that ROM hacks that I've added. Pokemon Gaia, Mega Power, Orange Islands. Rocket Edition is sick. Y'all gotta check that out. I beat that one, it's so good. And then Ash Gray. So the Pi 4, it has no issues playing games like that. Game Boy Color. You start having issues with like Nintendo 64. I found that it runs the LR Mupin 64 Plus emulator, runs it at full speed. It runs perfectly. So I'll actually showcase that a little bit. We'll do a little bit of gameplay. I took a GIF from online and converted it to MP4 for my loading screen. So it's a Pokeball that circles 3 times. And then once it's done circling, it tells you about the system that's coming up. Tells you it's loading. And then it will launch into the Mupin 64 Plus RetroArch Core or emulator. So and I've got all my notifications that come up. I've done a lot of configuration overrides and stuff like that. So let's hit start here. Player 1, start. Okay, and then we will hit A. Let's go to battle now, just because for like a quick demonstration, and I'll do 2-player battle. So you guys can kind of see what it's about here. So that it just picks characters for you. So then you guys may be wondering, well, hey man, you don't have enough buttons for a Nintendo 64 controller. And you would be right, okay? What I've done is added buttons to the front that act as a C button switcher. So for example, if I wanted to choose Squirtle, okay, which is A. So I have A set here for this emulator. So that's gonna be Squirtle, okay? And if you want, you can even look and see, it shows you in the different color, Squirtle, so you can see which one you selected. Now, if I wanted to choose Sandshrew, I would press that same button, which is down, the C button down, while holding mode. So let me see if I can do this with one hand. So mode, I usually have 2 hands for this. So then I've selected another Pokemon, and if you look, Sandshrew has been selected. And that's how it works, guys. So you can have all of your buttons, basically when you combine them, they will do different things. And I'm not gonna go into a whole long description about that, but it's you know, it's something that's possible with this emulator. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose another Pokemon here. I'm gonna choose ready, and then it's same thing for player 2. And then ready for that one. Okay, so then it's super easy. I mean, it works exactly like you'd imagine, and I'm not gonna take up a whole video doing a whole battle, but you know, it works exactly like you'd imagine. You just hold mode, and then you can choose the attack. Then hold mode, choose the attack. Super simple. This is how I set it up. I love it so far. It has had no issues. If you're wanting to get Pokemon Stadium for the mini games, you may run into some issues because the controls are really kind of all over the place with that. So, but I didn't care about the mini games. I haven't actually tried them, but it's something to keep in mind, okay? So now to exit the emulator, I have my Pikachu button here, and I'm gonna hold that, and I'm gonna press start. And it launches me right back. So Nintendo 64, it works great. Every game on this system works great. Nintendo DS was where we had some more issues, okay? So I was able to get it running full speed, and I was able to get it running even using the, I love my load screen, man. It's awesome. It's just a GIF I found online. I looked everywhere for that kind of thing and just converted it to MP4. Love that. Okay. When it comes to the Nintendo DS, you're going to have a bunch of different issues you got to think about. For one, the Drastic DS emulator does not use the standard RetroArch core. So it's not going to use the same controls that your other emulators use, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. You'll have to map this manually, most likely, especially on an arcade. And it's very particular. You have to have your sticks, the back sides of the sticks have to be mounted vertically, not horizontally. If they're horizontal, you're never going to get this to work right. And that was a hard lesson that I had to learn. Okay, the way I've set this up, player 2 controls the stylus, okay? And then all of this are like stylus controls. So if I hit this button here, this is my press control. Okay, and then I can take the stylus, go up. See? So that controls, but as you guys may know, if you're Pokemon fans, you don't even need the stylus really for anything. You can control your character with the left stick. You can hit the X button to go into your bottom menu, and then X button again to just come out, and then boom, you're back to controlling your character. No issues there. But I wanted stylus function, which is another reason why I have player 2. Okay, so I wanted stylus function, and it's just cool. It's just cool, right? So anyways, I've got menu, all of these buttons over here are menu buttons. So you can change your orientation with this button horizontally. Okay, so you can change it horizontally or vertically. And then with this button, you can make it full screen. Okay, so if I wanted the top screen or the bottom screen. So you can make it full screen if you wanted to play. And I'm still inside, so let me show you full screen because it actually is the whole screen. So see, it's full screen on the arcade. It's and it works great. It plays full speed, sound works perfectly, all of that. If I want to access the menu, I can hit, I believe it's this button. Yep. Okay, so now I'm in the menu. This is where you can change the controls and all of that, you know. So I could exit from here, but I'm not going to because I have a specific hotkey. Again, my Pikachu button, which will launch me right back to my menu. So all the DS games, they work. I had to showcase that. One last reason, and I promise I'm not going to spend the whole time talking about this. One last reason why I have the 2-player setup is to do 2-player emulation link cable trades. Okay, I'm going to show you what that looks like. I've already set it up for the video, so I'm just going to show you. It's real simple to do. So I have set Pokemon Blue to launch using the TGB dual core, which allows you to simultaneously emulate 2 Pokemon games, or 2 games from Game Boy at the same time. It's really cool. It's not hard to set up. You have to make sure that your files aren't in zip files. So what it's going to do is it's emulating 2 times right now Pokemon Blue. Okay, so it's emulating both of them, right? And they're both Pokemon Blue. Now this is player 1 controls. These are player 2 controls. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, if I was to hit my menu button, and just bear with me here. If I was to hit my menu button, go to RetroArch, and then go to Subsystems, it says current Game Boy, and you can load 2-player Game Boy link. Okay, so my first Game Boy I'm going to put as blue version. Perfect. Then I'm going to hit Subsystems again. Current Game Boy number 2. So for number 2, I'm going to put, let's do yellow version. Okay, then you're going to hit Subsystems again and start the link. Okay, so if that works, which it should, I am now running Pokemon Blue on the left side and Pokemon Yellow on the right, which I am. And the audio is defaulted to player 1 or Pokemon Blue at the moment, but you can change that as well. So I could have, you know, me and a buddy play Pokemon simultaneously on the arcade with no issue, and we could do link cable trades amongst ourselves, which is really cool. See, and they work simultaneously of each other. It's completely separate of each other. So player 1 controls this side, player 2 controls this side. And we can do link cable battles, we can do trades, we can do whatever we like, okay? So this was a feature that was super important to me because I didn't want to just use cheats to get the Pokemon that I'd like, because some Pokemon are version exclusives. So anyways, guys, that's the gist of it. Let's see if I can do that at the same time. Perfect. That's the gist of the Pokemon Arcade, guys. If you guys are interested in any of this or how I did any of this, just let me know and I'll try and help you out as best I can. I try and keep up with my comments as best I can. It's you know, it's not 100% complete because I got my amp that I have to do, and I have you know, some games that I want to add, and I have to do my safe shutdown switch using a GPIO script. It's like a DT overlay script. It's not hard to do, but yeah, man, it's looking pretty good. Let me know what y'all think. Okay, later.